Let's take a look at the chart action for Dogecoin. Okay, so here's what we're looking at. In my last video, I was watching this resistance and this resistance. I had these two red lines drawn, and I was saying we need to break out of these this little box right here in order to go to the next target. And the next target that I was looking at, let's jump to the daily time frame, because what I was watching is this resistance and this resistance. I had a downtrend, something like this from those 2 points. Once we broke this downtrend going to the upside right here, I started targeting this resistance and this resistance. Let's go ahead and do the red lines. Let's go ahead and just drag these red lines up here since we already broke the ones from the lower levels. And I'd been looking at this first target sitting at around 0.165 approximately, maybe a little bit higher than that, maybe, yeah, 0.165. And then the second one was sitting at around 0.184. So we pretty much came up, hit the first target, and it looks like we almost hit that second one. What I'm thinking now, or the other thing that I was kind of looking at, is this resistance and this resistance. Let's go ahead and draw another trend line, something like that from these 2 points right here. We'll go ahead and drag this out, and we actually broke this trend line as well. What I'm thinking is, I'm on the daily time frame right now. Let's see if we can close this candle above this trend line right here. Let's see if we can close this candle and then get the next candle to continue to head up. If we do, I think the next spot that I'll be looking at is, well, we have 0.184 right here, but I've also been looking at this resistance and this resistance. It's kind of like a horizontal like top right here. We have this top and this top. So let's go ahead and do another trend line from these 2 points right here. I've been looking at this spot for a while, and it's around 19 cents, something like that, 0.191 approximately. What I'm thinking though is if we could break 0.19 or 19 cents, 0.191, then we could get even more bullish and maybe even try to shoot for these targets or these previous resistances up here. We're having a little bit of trouble. I noticed we have the 180 moving average right here. It looks like we came up right to that 180 moving average, and it looks like we're kind of heading back down. So I'm very curious, like I said, where is this daily candle going to close? Are we going to close above this trend line? I think if we do, then that's going to be a good signal as well. I think we need to close above this red line as well. That 0.165 resistance, this previous resistance right here. Let's see if we could close above 0.165 and continue to head up to hit the next target sitting at 0.184. If we could break above that, the next target after that would be 0.19. And if we could break above that, then I'm going to get even more bullish. If we go ahead and delete everything, let's go ahead and delete everything and kind of take a bigger look at this chart. We have low, high, low, high, low, high. Actually, it's kind of like low, high, low, high, low, high, low, high. Basically, what I'm thinking is we're getting lower lows and lower highs. But right here, it looks like we have, okay, so we have a high, low, high, low, high, low, high. Right here, we're getting higher lows and we're getting higher highs. So basically, I'm wondering if we will be able to reverse out of this bear trend that we've been in for a long time now. That first signal came from this resistance and this resistance. We had this downtrend, something like this. We broke this downtrend going to the upside. I thought this is when I first started getting more bullish about Dogecoin. And then we also had, like I was saying, this trend line. I hadn't really been talking about this, but I'm looking at this now. Let's see if we could close above this trend line right here on the daily time frame. I'm still watching this support and this support, giving me this uptrend right here. So as long as we are on this uptrend, I'm going to be looking at these higher spots, these previous resistances. The first one was 0.165, the second one 0.184, and the third one is 0.191. If you look at the volume right here, it looks like we got some pretty good volume. The volume's increasing, which is, I think, a good sign. Let's see if we could continue to keep up this volume. And I think another thing that I want to see us do is break above this 180 moving average. Like I said, it looks like we had a little bit of trouble on it. We had this big pump up to the 180 moving average sitting at around 0.18. I want to see us break this 180 moving average. Once we get on top of it, I think that'll be a bullish signal as well. If we take a look at the moving averages, let's go ahead and delete everything. I'm on the weekly time frame right now, and we broke above the weekly 9 moving average right here. We came back down, tested it, and got a bounce on it. I like looking at these moving averages because if we break below them, usually we'll get resistance and push to the downside. Every time we came into contact with that 9 moving average, we started pushing down pretty much. Hopefully we can stay above this 9 moving average, and instead of getting pushed down on it, maybe we can get a push up from it. Let's take a look at the monthly 9 moving averages, or let's take a look at the monthly moving average. It's pretty much the same thing. We broke below the 9 moving average right here. Every time we're coming into contact with it, we're getting pushed down. We have not broke the 9 moving average on the monthly time frame. What would be really nice to see is us break through that 9 moving average and stay above that as well. Check out what happened the last time we broke above it. We broke above it right here, got support on it, and got that big huge pump. We weren't able to continue bouncing on it, but it did. Once we did break above it, we got that huge pump to the upside. I do think, switching back to the weekly time frame though, I do like the way we broke above it and we got that bounce on it. Let's see if we can continue this momentum and continue to get support in it and push to the upside. So I think the main thing that I'm watching is this trend line right here today. Let's see if we could stay above this trend line and this .165 resistance area. It looks like we're coming back down to hit it. So I don't know. I'm not really sure if we're going to be able to keep the momentum going up or not. But as long as we're on this uptrend, I'm thinking that it's looking pretty good. If you're new to technical analysis and want to know what program I'm using, check out this playlist right here. It'll help you get started. I talked about moving averages in this video. Check out this video right here. It's more of an explanation on how I use moving averages. Alright, if you guys liked the video, hit that thumbs up and I'll see you in the next one.